Let's talk about a story of one man, the Apostle Paul, who's on a collision course with his own destiny. He is absolutely determined to get to Jerusalem. But this isn't just any trip. It's a journey where pretty much every step of the way is met with dire warnings, tears, and a chilling prophecy about the chains that are just waiting for him in the holy city. And this prophecy, it's really the heart of our story today. It's such a stark, dramatic prediction. And it sets the stage for a massive conflict, not just with Paul's enemies, but with his closest friends, and maybe, just maybe, with destiny itself. So before Paul even sets foot in Jerusalem, his path is just lined with people trying to stop him. As we follow along, you're going to feel how that sense of dread just keeps mounting with every single stop. And look, this was no quick trip. Paul sailed deliberately from port to port, coasts, then roads. Then he spent a full week in Tyre. The journey itself just goes to show his unwavering resolve. He knows where he's going, and he refuses to be rushed or pushed off course. Now, what's really interesting here is who is trying to stop him. It's not his adversaries. It's his own people, the disciples he's visiting along the way. In Tyre, we're told that through the Spirit they urged Paul not to go. So these are pleas born out of genuine care and a really deep sense of foreboding. The warnings really hit their peak in Caesarea with the arrival of this man, a prophet named Agabus. And he isn't just going to deliver a message, no, he's going to perform it. This is the exact moment that vague sense of danger becomes terrifyingly specific. See, this isn't just a verbal warning. It's a moment of high drama. Agabus takes Paul's own belt and uses it to bind his own hands and feet. He makes the prophecy physical, tangible, as if to say, look, this is exactly what's going to happen to you. So you get this incredibly emotional clash. After seeing the prophecy acted out, everyone, his traveling companions and the local believers, they all just start weeping, pleading with him to turn back. But Paul's response is completely resolute. He asks them why they're trying to break his heart. He's not just prepared to be arrested, he's prepared to die. Well, despite all the warnings, Paul arrives in Jerusalem. And here, the tension shifts from prophecy to politics, as he's suddenly forced to navigate a very, very dangerous religious landscape. His first stop is a meeting with James, the leader of the Jerusalem church, and the other elders. The initial reception is warm, actually. Paul gives them a full report of his work, and they all praise God. For just a moment, it really seems like things might be okay. But there's a serious problem brewing. Really dangerous rumors have been spreading about Paul, that he's teaching Jews to abandon their heritage, to turn away from the law, to forget their core customs. In a city as zealous for the law as Jerusalem, this is an absolutely explosive accusation. So James comes up with a plan, you might even call it a PR move, to try and diffuse the situation. The idea is for Paul to publicly participate in a Jewish religious rite. He'll join 4 men in a purification vow at the temple, and he'll even pay their expenses. The goal here is simple and clear, to prove to everyone, through his own actions, that the rumors are completely false. It's a calculated risk, sure, but it's designed to show solidarity and respect for Jewish tradition, hoping to quell all the unrest before it boils over. But this plan to make peace? It's going to do the exact opposite. It puts Paul right at the center of the storm. And this is where the prophecy begins to unfold with just shocking speed. While Paul is at the temple, he gets spotted by some of his opponents. They immediately stir up the crowd, shouting all these accusations. The final charge, defiling the temple by bringing in a non-Jew, well, it was based on a complete misunderstanding. They had simply seen him earlier in the city with his companion Trophimus and just assumed the worst. And that one false assumption, that's the spark. The accusation just ignites the crowd, throwing the entire city into an uproar as people come running from every direction. The crowd becomes a mob. They seize Paul right then and there and physically drag him out of the temple complex, and the sacred space is immediately sealed off right behind them. And their intent is unmistakable. They stopped dragging him and started beating him. The text is blunt. They were trying to kill him. Paul is literally moments away from being lynched by this furious crowd. Just in the nick of time, news reaches the Roman commander. He rushes down with his soldiers, and the sight of the troops is enough to make the mob stop the beating. The commander arrests Paul, pulling him right out of the crowd. The commander then orders Paul to be bound. with 2 chains. Remember Agabus's prophecy? It wasn't just about being handed over. It was specifically about being bound. And in that moment, it's fulfilled to the letter. But even with the Romans there, the chaos is not over. The mob is so violent, pressing in on all sides, that the soldiers have to physically lift Paul up and carry him up the steps to the barracks just to protect him. And as he's being carried away, this is the sound that follows him. It's not just anger anymore. It's a primal, unified demand for his death, a chilling end to his attempt to make peace. So Paul is in chains, just as prophesied. The warnings all came true. But you have to ask yourself, is this the tragic end of his mission? Or could it be that these very chains are not an ending at all, but the unlikely beginning of the most consequential chapter of his story?